This conference will now be recorded.
Able to see my screen?
No, I can't see.
No?
Yeah, I can see now.
Okay. So whenever we write any code, first that need to be tested by the developer, which we call it as unit testing. We have different types of testing, but unit testing is the developer role. Okay. So coming to the functional testing, load testing, and integration testing, API testing, there are many other types of testing is taken care by the QA team, but unit testing has to be done by the developer. As soon as we write any module with any functions, first we need to write the small part of the test case. So to do that unit test case, so we need a library called as unit test. As soon as you write a function, let's say adding of numbers, subtracting of a number, you need to write a test case for that. So for that we need a library called unit test, and from whatever the name in which you saved this file, you need to import the modules. Then you
Okay.
can write cases. Okay. So
Mm.
let me show you one example. So there is a function. These functions we have written in the same class. Okay, same program. So here itself we are writing unit test, and then you're writing add a comma b, subtract a comma b. Generally, how do we test it? These functions. So simplest way is we write the test cases and we test it by calling it, right? So add 4 comma 5 and then we print it. This is one way of testing. But in real time, we don't test like this. Every time we don't write on the console. Print subtract of 6 comma 3. Then we print it. Save. So that you wanted to test it and see the result. So now 4 plus 5, 9, 6 minus 3, 3. So you feel like testing is done, it is working fine. But in real time, every time we don't see this. Okay? How do we test it? That is called unit testing. So how do we do that? For that, we need this library called as unit test. Okay. To get
Yeah.
this, what you have to do is you should say pip install. If it says unit test not found, pip installed unit test you have to do.
Okay.
Next is first you are writing one class. Class name can be anything, and you need to pass unit test dot test case. This is a parent class. So parent class means super class or parent. Whenever you pass unit test dot test case to this place, this class is treated as a test case class. Otherwise, it will become a simple class. Okay. Now this is a test class. This is called as a test class used for testing purpose. Next, how do we test it? What is the purpose of this class we are writing? We have to test add, we have to test subtract. So that's the reason. Definition test add. We need to write a test case method. And how do we test it? Assert equals. There is an assert. Assert is a function for Boolean expressions. It is for testing purpose. When I call this add a comma b, I'm expecting output should be 7. If this is true, test case will pass. Subtract. So another function, test case method. This is called test case method. Method or a function. Test method or a function. Whereas here it is a test class. This is a test function. This is another test function. You can write as many test methods as you want. Okay, now you're testing. If both are true, let's say 9 comma 5, 9 minus 5, I'm testing with 4. Excuse me. Now you have to test it. How do we test it? Now we need to call this. Okay, how do we call this means? Here you need to call. Okay, if underscore underscore name means when this module is getting executed, for that we are taking that main. If it is main, now unit test dot main means it is going to execute this entire function. Okay, now save it and run it. See here, how many tests? There are 2 tests are okay.
Yeah.
Means all test cases are passed. Suppose let us fail one test case. 3 comma 4, I'm testing with 9 and run it. So one test case is failed. The reason also it will show.
Okay.
So 7 is not equal to 9. Here it is output is 7, but it is 9. It is not equal to, so it got failed. Next, but the first one, second one is passed. So now 9 minus 5, 4 I am giving, right? I am giving 14 now. Now when I run it, that has also failed.
Is there
Both
also
are,
like multiplication and division stuff?
yeah, it says like it is failed and this is also failed.
Okay.
Sorry, I'm saying something?
Can you also do like multiplication and division?
Yes, we can do that.
Okay.
Okay, this is a one way of testing. So this is a kind of testing we have to do. Okay, to as soon as we write any test case, we need to test like this. Okay, which is called as unit testing. So far, what are all the programs you are doing? For any program, you can write the test function like this. Okay. Now, let us say I created these modules. Means this is in the same program, so I'm able to call it directly. But what if I have a function in another program? So there is a loan in which what is a function we have? Just apply function. So generally, if I wanted to call this apply, how do I do? Just I call it so that I get that apply. Loan application done. Simply, we are getting the message, right? But
Yeah.
I don't want to do testing here. Means I don't want to call it. I wanted to call it from previous program. How do I call it? First of all, this is saved in the name called loan. So this is called in the loan module. Module name is nothing but a file name. Okay, is loan. Now you need to import that. Import loan means what? You're able to import that. Now you will be able to call with the module dot apply. So can I call like this? Now let me pass both the functions. Test cases are passed. Okay, and also we are able to call the loan method. Clear? Calling
Yeah.
from other modules is nothing but write something in the other class and import it and use it.
Okay.
Okay. Now, how
Wait,
do
I
I
have an
test?
error when I do import loan.
You need to save it.
Yeah, no, I did save for unit.
Loan.py
Yeah.
is saved.
No, no, not this one. The other file. Yeah, this one.
Remove import loan because you have not created, right? So far.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
That should be error.
No, it still doesn't work. It says line 1 error Python input 8
Line number
1 import unit.
import unit test. I told you to give this command, right? Pip
Yeah, no,
install.
I
You
did.
have to give at the command prompt here.
How,
Here you need to write at the terminal.
uh, let me see. It says How do you do it?
You have to do it in this place because in my machine it is already done, so it's not giving error.
With the spaces too?
Pip space install space unit test.
Yeah, no, that's not working.
It's working.
No, it's not working.
Yeah, can you share your screen?
Yeah. I don't have permission.
Wait. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, this is where it is.
Mm. Pip install is not working, right? Prior to that, what was the error?
It was just in line 1. Here, I'll run it.
Mm-hmm.
That's what it said.
Okay. I think you need to give. It is asking to give Python-m unit test. Can you
Python.
check that? -m. I put it in the.
Okay, let me try it.
Try this.
Let me see. No, I still haven't. Or when I type that.
Mm-hmm. Pip is not installed in your machine.
How do I install pip?
Can you give this Python 3 -m pip version?
Can you put that in the chat?
Wait. I'm making you. You can see my screen, right?
Yeah.
Can you give this Python 3
Can you
hyphen
put that in
m?
the chat? No, there's an error under pip.
Okay. In that case, Python, you need to upgrade pip.
How do you upgrade pip?
Can you give this command?
Yeah.
If Python doesn't work, Python 3 you give for the same command.
Oh, I'll try Python 3 if that doesn't work. No, there's still an under pip, error under pip.
Try this.
Now it's under ensure pip.
With here, have you tried this?
I tried them all. Yeah, I tried that. It didn't work.
This is a problem with Mac.
Yeah.
What's the error it is giving?
It says file Python input 17, line 1, Python 3 dash m ensure pip dash dash default dash pip.
Okay. Can you give once uninstall Python pip uninstall unit test first,
How
then
do I do
install.
that? Okay. Yeah, let me try that.
First you do this uninstall, then you do install.
There's an error for uninstall for pip.
But that also it is giving error.
Yeah. I'm supposed to type in the terminal, right?
Yeah. In
Yeah,
the
it still
terminal.
doesn't work.
Okay. Let me give you another library also, if it works. Okay. So this is unit testing.
Yeah.
To test it, we can do. And further, you can write with multiple test cases in the same function. Self dot assert equals or assert not equal. Okay. Here you can give call the function called sub of. Let's say I am subtracting -2 -6, right? What is the subtraction if I am going to get? Is it -8? So likewise, you can check. Suppose if I am going to check with assert equals, assert false, assert not null. Okay, assert false of, you can see here, false. So like this, you can check with all the possible conditions. So if all the given conditions are true, it will say true. Otherwise, if anything is failed, it will say. See 4 equal to -8. Somewhere it is becoming -8, right? So it is not equal. It is becoming 4. Suppose if you test with the 4, then it should pass. Okay, that is how you can write as many test case functions as you want. Next, here is also using unit test. There is another library called as. Can you do this? Pip install pytest. This is another type of a package.
Pip. What is it?
Pip install -u
Do I just put that in the
pytest.
terminal?
pytest.
Should I put that in the terminal?
Yeah,
Now there's an error under install.
error in the install.
Under install.
I think then you need to try with this command. Python 3 pip 3. Can you try like this?
Um, I don't think any of these are working. Is there like another way I can download pip?
Yeah, this is only the way we have.
Oh.
Because these are all the libraries we need to download.
Do I
Whichever
need to like
module.
download the library pip?
Yeah.
I'm just gonna delete the terminal.
Sure.
Okay. There says no module named pip3,
Mm-hmm.
so it's not error under. What else?
Yeah.
What
Then
should I have used the first time?
in place of pip 3, give only pip.
Okay.
Why it is not accepting?
Let me try the first python.add unit test. Man, not found.
Can you first check this command python 3 hyphen hyphen version?
Yeah.
Just
Python.
can you follow? Can you see my screen? Python
Uh,
3 hyphen hyphen version.
okay. It says 3.13.1.
Okay. Then you give brew install Python. It shows the Python version, right?
Yeah.
Then don't give the second command. It is not
Oh.
required. Give this third command. Python 3
Can you put
hyphen
that
n.
in the chat? Okay. Okay, yeah, I got it now.
Now the next command is this.
Do I have to keep doing this or?
Yeah, first you need to upgrade pip. Whenever version changes, we need to upgrade that.
Okay, it says successfully installed.
Yeah, now you run the program.
Okay, let me try.
PyTest is in.
Yeah, it works now.
What are you doing? Install unit test and install PyTest. This you have to do.
Yeah, no, it works now. Do I have to do that every time or will it save like this?
Yeah, yeah. Whenever you have that, you have to do this because it need to be updated. Okay.
So every
Just
time I
save.
run the code.
Yeah.
So do you want me to put that one in
Save these
again?
commands. Yeah.
Alright. The last three commands should I save or the last two?
Yeah. Last two.
Okay.
This is for upgrading pip, and this
Alright.
is for libraries, whichever library you want. I'll put it in the code also.
Yeah. Okay, I wrote all of them. I wrote it down. I put it in the code.
The two commands you have to make use. One is pip install unit test and pip install pytest.
Yeah.
Okay, now there is a another library we are going to use called pytest. Pytest is another type of a library, unit testing library, in which we have a function called increment. Whenever you call this increment, it is going to increment the number. So we are taking a number and it has to be incremented. This is the simplest implementation, right? Now, how do we test it? We will see practically with pytest. Enter x. If I give 5, it is going to say 6. Okay, if I run it again and if I give 7, it is going to say 8. Means testing is done. But this is not the correct way to test, right? We need to write a function to test it.
Mm.
So, in the previous way, what are we doing? In the app, every time we write a class, we override this parent class, then we are writing a function, then we are checking the module is main or not, then we are calling it, right?
Yeah.
This got simplified in pytest. A function when you write, okay, you don't need to call over here. Now we need to test it, right? There is a
Mm.
test function, name can be anything. Now you call that function. How do you test it? Okay, now let me, okay, how do I call it, right? Simply, no need to write a separate test underscore increment. Okay, and then how do I test it? Assert of increment of 5 is equal to 6. That's it. See here, there is a test to be a method to be tested, and here we are testing it. But what is the thing you have to maintain? Test prefix, if you write it, it means like test method or test function. Okay, and assert, we are calling that function. We are giving the sample input. We are expecting with the sample output, and we are testing. If it passes, it will say passed. Otherwise, fail.
Yeah.
Okay, case is passed. Suppose if it fails, now I am checking with 9. Okay, now to test this pytest, right? So here you can write it as to run the test cases, right? Instead of simply saying that, you need to give a command call. Okay, the command is pytest space. This is a command you need to give. Pytest space, because in the app.py, what are we doing? We are writing a main, so we are calling it. But now what are we doing? PyTest, we have written a function. But here using PyTest, you need to test it. PyTest space, what is the file name of your application? pytest1.py. Give that file name. Now it will test the test cases. pytest1.py, right? So again in my system, PyTest is not recognized, it is saying, right? It means what? I have to say pip install pytest. It is Windows, so only you need to give this. Again, if it is Mac, that is a command which I have shared you. Now pytest is getting installed. Now what is a command I have to give? Pytest day space, okay, file name.py. Now it is whether it is passed or failed, it is saying. Why it is failed, it says assert 6 equal to 9 is failed. Let us say here I'll test with 6. Okay, save it. How do I test it now? Pytest space or file name .py. Now the test case is passed. If you're getting red color, it is failed and it says the reason. And here when it is passed, simply say test case passed. Clear? How to run also I gave the command. To run it, what is the command? This.
Hmm.
Don't use python space filename.py. You should say pytest space filename.py. Clear?
Okay.
Yeah. Let me write one more pytest program from the beginning so that it is clear for you. Test1.py. No, test1 is already there. Test.py. So, get EMI. So, this is your function.
Yeah.
How do I test it? Def test underscore get EMI. Okay.
Hmm.
And here just we need to give assert. Assert. Okay. Get EMI of, if I pass 60,000, should be equal to 5,000. That's it. Okay. So there is a function to be tested. This is a test function. This is a function or a method. This is a test method. How do I test it? How do I run this program? I have to run it like pytest space file name dot py. So now pytest space test dot py. It got passed. Suppose 60,000 divided by 12 is returning something else, but I am testing with 8,000. Now it will fail. Pytest space test dot py. It will say why the reason why it is failed. Is that clear? So whenever you write any function, you need to write the test cases like this. Either use the previous version unit test or else use pytest, and you need to write the test cases. Okay. So similar examples are given here. Sometimes if you wanted to pass, okay, multiple inputs at a time, and then you have to check with the multiple inputs, then it is called parameterized testing. Parameterized testing means pytest, it's a predefined, mark dot parameterize is predefined. You are giving input and output. Input is this, output is this. So first set of values, second set of values, third set of values. Likewise, you give multiple inputs at a time. Now you are going to test this, okay, with input and output. So test eval, input and output. Check with eval of input. Eval of input means what? The first expression need to be evaluated. If that is evaluated, output should be this. If all the test cases are passed, your test case is passed. Otherwise, if any one is failed, your test case is failed. So now you should say pytest space, okay, pytest2.py. Some are passed, some are failed, right? 2 into 2, we are checking with 6. So that is wrong. So check with 4. 2 plus 2, 4. Let us pass all, okay? And 2 by 2, 1. Okay, now we have given this. Save. And now pytest space this. All test cases are passed. So first, second, third, fourth. When multiple things need to be evaluated at a time, we use this parameterized testing.
Okay.
One set of values. See, testing means what? Every time you give one set of values, right? You
Yeah.
wanted to test with the number of values at a time. We use this parameterized testing. There is one more simple example. This is unit test again. Addition of two numbers. You're writing a function, you need to override. You just need to observe the difference between the library, unit test and pytest. Unit test is something you have to take a class, override the class,
I have
means you
an
need to
error again
variable.
under the pytest.
PyTest, you are getting an error. What's the
Yeah.
error you are getting?
It just says line 1. Do I have
To
to
install
import?
PyTest, you have to do, right?
Do I have to do it for each file?
Yes. Not each file. PyTest you have done earlier.
Yeah.
This thing you have done.
Oh, yeah, I already did that.
No, you have done for unit test, but not for PyTest, right?
Oh. Uh, it says requirement already satisfied.
Yeah.
And
Then can
then,
you run it again? We'll see.
Oh, it says when I put install unit test, it says cannot find version.
Okay, version mismatch maybe.
Hmm.
You need to resolve that version.
Should I use the upgrade?
Yeah.
Okay, it says requirement already satisfied. Yeah, it's still not working.
It's working?
No, it's not working.
Can you put the code what you have written in the chat?
Yeah, it's the same thing you put in the chat.
That
Yeah.
pytest one, na?
Mm-hmm.
What is the file name you gave?
Just pytest.py.
Hmm? What's the command you gave? What is the file you saved and what is the name you are giving?
I did pytest.py as a file name.
No, you
And then,
cannot give pytest as a file name, right? Pytest 1 or 2, 3 you give because pytest is a library, right?
oh, let me
That's
try
a reason.
pytest 1.
Yeah. Make it as rename it to pytest 1 or 2 or 3 like that.
No, it's still not working.
Share your screen.
Wait, let me try this again. Yeah, let me share it. I don't have permission. Yeah,
Why you have given here pytest 1? It should be pytest.
yeah.
Not here. The file name I am saying. What is the file name you give? Pytest 1, right?
Pytest1.py.
Okay. Now go to the terminal.
Yeah.
In the terminal, what is the command you are giving?
What command should I
Pytest
give?
space pytest space pytest1 dot py. It's running, right?
Yeah, now it ran.
So remember that command.
Pytest1 space pytest1 dash py. Okay.
So that's the reason. Try to avoid give the names as pytest. Okay, change it something else.
Okay.
So you need to observe the differences between unit test and pytest. In unit test, every time you have to write a class, you need to pass this class name, and you need to write if underscore underscore name equal to main. Then unit test dot main. You have to test it, right? So whereas in PyTest, the advantage is you don't need to write a function, class, if condition not required. But when you run at the command prompt, you have to run with the PyTest. PyTest space the file name. Okay, that's the differences. You need to try both the ways. Try unit test and as well as try PyTest. So here is there is one function which you have written here. There is an increment function and a product function. So these things you wanted to test it some other class. So what you have to do first, you need to save this name called some module name. Module name is inc. Now you wanted to test that. What you have to do? Import that module as give some name. Okay. Now you will be able to call that function. Clear?
Yeah, clear.
Yeah. And there is one example. This is also performing the same job, adding, and then let's say you have a function here. Okay, unit testing. In a unit testing, so far what are we doing is simply app1 and all. We are writing a function to be tested and we are directly testing it. Okay, but for every test case, there is a life cycle that is called as write a class. There is a life cycle method called first setup. Then at the end, you will have setup is a like a constructor. It is a initialization process. To initialize your application, you have to do setup now. Then you wanted to check whether given two strings are same or not. Nothing but there is no other function to test. Directly you are testing like this. Assert equals of a into 4 means a should be displayed 4 times.
Yeah.
Next is foo dot upper should convert into foo. Is
Okay.
upper. Is upper. Okay. Strip.
Wait, so what is it? What is it testing?
Sorry, what is that?
Oh, is it testing if it's in uppercase or lowercase?
Yes, yes,
I thought it was turning it into. Okay.
yes. Next is s dot strip of yes. Means whether s present in this, wherever s is there, it should strip. It should, okay, strip into this. And is it going to be the same? Okay. Similarly, s dot split. S is hello world. If we split, is it going to become like this? So
Hmm.
this is how you are testing all the test cases. Okay,
Okay.
where you are added one method called life cycle. This is called initialization and test life cycle method.
Wait, why'd you say pass underneath after setup?
Here, just pass means it is skipping to the next methods, right? This is initialization process. Generally, when to do initialization, you're going to use some function, you're going to use some method. That time you need to create that here. Let's say
Yeah.
some number you are going to use here. So you can initialize here, like s equal to so and so. So let's say one name you wanted to, okay. Uh, just you wanted to initialize something, that thing you wanted to use it here. Such initialization you can do it here. But as of now, we are not doing anything. So what are we doing? Simply pass. Pass means what? Skip.
Uh, so we don't even need to do that. Okay.
Yes, yes. All the previous function we are not writing it, right? Still it is working. But
Yeah.
here, just we are checking. Whenever it is required, we will use it.
Okay.
So there are multiple functions are written here and we need to test it. Unit test 2.py. To test this, again the command is py, because this is unit test library. Whenever it is a unit test, you need to give the command py only. Py unit test 2.py. Unit test double T. Now you are getting all the test cases are passed. If anything is not passed, same like previous example, it will show the result.
Okay.
This is all comes under, okay, test cases. For example, you have calculate age function, in which what are you doing? There is a date time library you are using. You're taking year, month, and a day as an input. And first you are taking current date in this format. Today's date you are taking, and you are calculating your age. Mean the date that you passed, the date of today's date. You are calculating the difference and calculating the age that you are going to return. Means basically this get age function will return a age for a given year, month and a day.
Okay.
Now in this case, what are you doing? You are simply importing that package. Yeah, import this get age function. Now you are set testing the test get age. This is using pytest because no main function, no test case class, right? It's a pytest. So pytest means what? You are just passing mmdd map to int. Year is so and so, and then is 7 and dd is 11. This is the inputs you are passing to get age, and
Hmm.
you are testing the age equal to 28 or not.
Okay.
To test this, what we have to do? PyTest space. What's our file name? Calculate underscore age
Age
underscore
underscore test
test
apply.
underscore py. Okay. So it is giving 28, but we are testing with the 29. So make it 29. Okay. Now again run it. Now test case is passed. Clear?
Yeah.
All these programs are there in the same folder. You can practice.
Okay.
And one more feature is called regular expression. Regular expression is nothing but again you need to install this regex in the same fashion. In place of pytest and unit test, you need to use this. In my case, I have to give pip install regex. It's a library. This is for regular expression. Regular expression purpose is whenever you're working with some text information, we wanted to do pattern matching. What is a pattern? Pattern is it should have fy and followed by 4 digits. So this is the syntax. D curly brace 4 means 4 digits. Then somewhere question mark means it can be anything. Again Q. Q means this is. And then how many digits it can be? It can be 1 to 4 digits. Okay. Next. Again S 1 to 2 digits. So this is how we are giving the expression. If in a given regular expression, find all this pattern in the given text. If it matches, it will display. If it not matches, it won't display. So this is what is done by the regular expression library, which is inbuilt. First, you need to pip install regex, then you run it. So python space regex1.py. Now, how many patterns are identified? These two patterns are identified.
Yeah.
So, year followed by 4 digits, either Q or S, 124 or 122. Q and S. So, wherever Q is there, it is showing, S is there, it is showing, the rest of the things it won't show. Okay, this is
Okay.
one of the examples. Similarly, here also there is a regular expression. There is something text you have called Elon Musk something so and so so and so. Now you are checking with the digits with 3. Wherever 3 digits are there, hyphen 3 digits, hyphen 4 digits, and or 10 digits. Means that pattern exists over here. Nowhere else it exists, right? So now find all patterns, given patterns in the given text. This is a text. So you are checking. Then you are printing the matches. Similarly, there is another text. You have digits 4 and Q1 to 4. 4 digits Q1 to 4 means this, right? Here also.
Yeah.
4 digits 1 to 4. This. So that is the patterns you wanted to check. Similarly, whatever pattern you give, it will search and it will give the results. So
Okay.
Python regex true.py. Generally for pattern matching, we use this kind of regex library.
Yeah.
Okay. Similarly, there are one more example with the regular expression. You just need to import RE. This is also regex library. You have some text and you're giving the pattern. Pattern is simply space and you're checking all the patterns. Here is one more text. Find all the patterns. Pattern is empty string. So here, whatever you are supposed to test, you test it. Let's say you wanted to check for a string called hi, or you want to use regular expression pattern. Pattern means you have to give curly brace, and you should give. You wanted to check with digit 3 digits or 4 digits. You can check like this. This is the pattern you can give. So here it is empty. You try with whatever pattern you wanted to search here. Here also pattern you have to give. Okay, as of now there is no pattern given, just I am checking with it. Whatever pattern I give, I can test it. Here also pattern is not given, pattern is empty. You have to choose the pattern. Let's say off, I wanted to check for the pattern called off. Okay, now rejects 3 dot py. If there are some patterns it will show. Escape sequence D is not correct, it says give some pattern called have something else. Find all it says, but we are not printing it, right? So you need to print it. you print only, it can print it, right?
Yeah.
Now it is same, right? Similarly, above also, everywhere you have to print it. So for today, you just can practice up to this
Okay.
regular expression and pytest, and in the next session, we will be discussing the topic called pandas library. Pandas.
Hmm. Right.
Pandas or NumPy, anyone, I will start. Okay.
Okay.
I will share all these things into the GitHub library.
Yeah.
The folder name would be uh, unit testing and regular expression. Okay.
Okay.
Day you don't consider, just you can say unit testing and regular expression. Okay, then bye. See you in the next
Okay.
session.
Thank you. Bye.